is Monday, and you know what that means. We are talking about Medicare. For those of you who don't know, Medicare produces a book every year called Medicare and You, and I'll have a different edition every year. You can go to medicare.gov to receive your free copy, or you can go to my website, www.medicaremaid.com, and just scroll down on that very first homepage, and there's a link to get your copy. It's a great resource to have on hand if you just have general Medicare questions. There are a lot of misconceptions out there. There are a lot of options that people don't necessarily know they have. So this is a great place to just get some free information if you're looking just to answer some basic questions. I'm gonna do a few of these segments going through, and we'll work our way through the entire book. But obviously, if you have questions, feel free to give me a call, 918-623-2476, or you can swing by the office here in Okemah at 411 West Broadway. What I'm gonna do today, I've got it pulled up on my screen, so if it looks like I'm staring off in the distance, it's because I am, but we're just gonna kind of go through and go over some of the basics and kind of clear up some of the confusion. Medicare is a government-run program, so with that come a lot of timeframes and rules and regulations, and so our goal here is to make sure that everyone has the best information to make the best decision at the right time without the consequences of penalties and potentially spending too much money. So the first thing we're going to get into today is basically what the parts of Medicare cover, as well as who is eligible and when for Medicare, and then we might save the rest for another dive later. So what are the parts of Medicare? So your Part A is your hospital insurance. That's going to cover your inpatient stays, skilled nursing, hospice, home health. Part B is going to be your medical insurance, which is going to be for your outpatient care, durable medical equipment, and some of your preventative services, like screenings, shots, vaccines, etc. And then you have a Part D coverage, which helps cover the cost of your prescription drugs. Newly added to that is your Part C, which is a Medicare Advantage plan. That actually removes you from the government program and puts you back into the private sector of things and replaces your Medicare. So you're no longer working through Medicare. You no longer show your red, white, and blue card, but rather you are working with an insurance company who's administering your plan, and it is separate from original Medicare. It usually comes with a few more benefits, but we'll get into that later. That's just kind of so you know what the Part C stands for. Who is eligible for Medicare and when can you apply? Okay, so most people who are on disability know that they are going to be eligible for Medicare once they have been receiving disability benefits for 2 years. So hopefully if you have fought for disability, your caseworker has helped you, you know that that's coming. So you could potentially be on Medicare before age 65 if you are also on disability. For everyone else, 65 is usually the sweet spot. Now, you can sign up for Medicare at 65, but you don't have to. So if you are still working, and if you have a good group health plan, and if you can still afford that group health plan, you don't necessarily have to sign up for Medicare, especially Part B, right away. Part A is you're normally enrolled immediately, and there's usually no charge for that. Just kind of depends on your work history and things of that nature. 9 times out of 10, you're not charged for Part A. Part B, there will be a premium. It is normally this year $148. It tends to go up a little bit every year. If you have been highly compensated, it could be more for you. But as soon as you enroll in Part B, you have to pay that Part B premium. So for most people, it doesn't make sense to stay on their group health plan and enroll in Medicare and now just pay 2 premiums. Normally the way that would work is that Medicare would pay first, and then your group plan would pay second. So it would be helping your employer reduce their costs, but as far as you're concerned, it is going to take more money out of your pocket in the way of the premium. Now, the caveat that most people need to be aware of is that once you decide you want to leave your group plan and go to Medicare, in most instances, it's going to save you some money monthly. You normally only have 63 days to do that once you've left the plan, or within 6 months of turning 65 if you wanted to do that. But as long as you're on that group health plan, you're covered. That's considered credible coverage if it's a credible plan, and you're not going to face those penalties for waiting to sign up for Part B. So again, if you've got your group health plan, you're good. You can stay on it as long as you want. You don't have to take Part B right away. But once you decide to leave your group health plan, then your time clock starts and you have to make some decisions. To that end, if you are 65 and you're still working and your Part B premium is cheaper than what they're deducting from your check at work, and you just want to go to Medicare, you absolutely can. You're gonna pay that Part B premium. And let's just say you're a healthy person, you don't take any prescriptions, so you don't sign up for Part D. You don't need drug coverage. If you don't sign up for Part D when you were eligible for Part B, you could be prone to some penalties for the rest of your life once you do sign up for a drug plan. Most people run into this when they're in their 70s and all of a sudden are taking 5 or 6 medications, and now they're having to pay that 1% penalty for their lifetime where they wouldn't have had to do so if they would have signed up for the plan in the beginning. Now it is just a 1% penalty, so it may or may not be enough, to worry about for most people, but that is something that's on the table if you don't sign up for a drug plan at the same time that you do your Part B. So you need to definitely keep that in mind. Your Medicare Advantage plans, like we talked about before, are a little bit different. They have totally different windows as well, and I think we'll go into that more kind of in its own segment because that is a little bit intensive. Supplements that we haven't really talked about. The best time to get into a supplement without underwriting is right when you turn 65 or as soon as you leave your group coverage. Those are usually the most affordable at that time. If you wait and do that later and have to go through medical underwriting, it's going to be a lot more expensive. You may or may not get approved. So if that is something that you're interested in, that's something that you want to do first shot, not down the road. Supplements work with your Medicare, whereas the Advantage plans replace the Medicare. So with a supplement, your Medicare will pay primarily, and then they send the bills directly to your plan for your supplement. And you have very little out-of-pocket expense on a regular basis. You're not gonna have any co-pays or anything like that, but you do pay an additional monthly premium. So you're gonna be paying your Part B premium and you're gonna be paying the premium for your supplement. And most supplements are age rated, so those will increase every year. A lot of people that we have moving from supplements to Advantage plans are because they have had their supplement for so long that it's just no longer affordable to them. And they like the lower cost or no cost of the Advantage plan. So there are options. Some are great for some people, others are not ideal for the rest of the people. So it's definitely worthwhile to look at who your doctors are, which is what we do. We look at your doctors, we look at your medications, we look at where you live in conjunction to where you go to the doctor, because in rural Oklahoma, that makes a big difference, and it is different for a lot of people, especially here in Okfuskee County, Hughes County. We're right in between Tulsa and Oklahoma City. So you might see your cardiologist in Tulsa, but your rheumatologist might be in Oklahoma City. And that can be very tricky to find networks for, depending on the plan that you're on. So we absolutely help with that to make sure that you're getting the most out of your coverage. And we will pick up with another one here shortly, but hopefully that kind of answers some questions that you have as to just the very basics of your Medicare coverage. Thank you so much.